Hey there, I hope everybody's doing all right. We're going to do the train wheel here quickly, and I'll probably put up a couple of the other pieces that you'll see out there, the accessory pieces. Later in the week, we'll put up the other pieces. We are down to just, if I remember right, 15 class periods or 15 days to be able to get this all accomplished. So we want to make sure we get it all done. Have you be able to get this and be able to show other people. So starting off here with the train wheel. They've cut this wheel to show you this inside part. Now, they're trying to give you a hint. By showing you this slice, they're trying to tell you that you're going to want to use the Revolve tool to be able to make this. So I'm going to show you how to do this. We're going to make this piece first, this little slice, and then we're going to revolve it around the centerpiece and be able to go from there. So a couple of things. Everything's being measured from the center. So we want to make sure that we've got that. It talks about the different fillets that we have and around out here. So we're going to go ahead and work through this. We'll make sure that we've got this here. All right, so back to new document. Let's call this train wheel. It doesn't matter which one that you pick in this case, so I'm going to pick that. Turn it so it's on here. So now, as I'm looking at my piece, I'm going to draw this rectangular piece. I'm not going to worry about the circle part. Zoom in on this just a little bit. I'm not going to worry about this rounded part till the end. I'm going to make it all rectangular, and then I'm going to use fillets to make it. So I'm going to create a line that's going to start here, go out to 1 inch from the center, and it doesn't really tell me how far it is here, but if I go down here and look, it does tell me that the radius or the diameter of that circle is 0.280. So I know that this piece starts 0.140 from the center because that's going to be our radius here. So I'm going to go ahead and create a line, just go straight from the center. Just going to put it out here and hit escape, and now I'm going to use my measuring tool. I know that this distance from here to the middle needs to be 0.14, and this distance from the middle to here needs to be 1 inch. All right, now from there, I'm going to come across 0.25, and I'm going to go in so that the line here is 0.75 from the center. So as I go down 0.25, I'm going to come across, draw a line, and I'm going to go back up, and I'm going to measure this to be 0.75. So it shortens out a little bit. It then comes back up to be 0.125. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in there. And come across, and it gives me another distance as I come across here. That distance to the end of that line says that that's 0.25. So I'm going to measure this to here to be 0.25. And then I'm going to come back, and if I do this correctly, it should line it up for me. And so I just come over here, I click that, and so I can now have that drag. So it does that. I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to come just put that point on there, so now I have that connected, and I'm going to finish this out. So that's my outer piece here. So from here, I'm going to put on this rounded edge, and I'm going to do that by creating a circle that has a diameter of 0.25. So to do this, using my circle tool, I'm going to find the center of this come out 0.25. And now you can see that it closes that for me. So we've got that. And I'm going to go ahead and just trim away the stuff that I don't want to make my life a little easier here. So I don't want this line or that front half. So I have that there. And then the last thing is to put in these two fillets, and it tells us that those fillets are 0.0625. So I'm going to use my fillet tool right here. I'm going to click those two pieces, and it's asking me what radius I want for that. 0.0625, and I want that also for this one right here. It's seeing it's drawing that line in. Go ahead and hit enter. It makes that one for me. Do I need anything else there? Oh, I need this and that filleted also. It looks like all of the fillets are 0.0625. So we'll go ahead and put that one in there. And this one in here. So now I have my closed figure. I have that made. So I'm going to real quick draw a construction line just from my center here, just so I know I have one. And then I'm going to go ahead and finish my sketch. And here is my Revolve tool. I'm going to click that and ask first, what do you want to revolve? So I want all of that to revolve. What axis do I want to revolve it around? I want to revolve it around. Oh, I'm going to have to actually go back and draw an actual line in. Thought I could do a construction line there. So I'm going to go edit that sketch. I'm just going to draw a line. There we go. Hit escape, and I can trim that out after I'm done. So use my Revolve tool. Click there. What revolve axis do I want? I want that axis. And you can see that I've made the wheel and how that's supposed to look. So on the back side of this, we're going to click and we're going to do a new sketch, and we're going to put in these windows. Now, these windows are all arcs, but they're all part of an inside circle and an outside circle. So I'm going to start and I'm going to make concentric circles with different radiuses. And then I'm going to use the trim tool to cut away the window, and we'll be able to make what we want to make here. So as you can see, this goes straight up. There's a window going straight up. So I'm going to have to go a line straight up. I'm going to go a line out on either direction and make two 15-degree angles, because I want this window to be on the y-axis, because there is no window on the x-axis going across that. So to do this, go to line up this correctly. First thing I want to do is I want to make two concentric circles and make sure I have them dimensioned correctly. So I have the inside circle has a radius of 0.375. So I'm going to type in 0.375 times 2 because I want a diameter. And then I want another concentric circle that has a radius of 0.625. That's what this shows down here. So I'm going to type in 0.625 times 2. And that gives me where the windows are going to be. So from here, I'm going to then use my line tool. I'm going to draw 3 lines. I'm going to go straight up on the y-axis. How do I know I have this straight up? It gives me this little tool that says the vertical constraint. So I have that. I'm then going to draw a line coming on either side of it. I'm going to use my dimension tool and I'm going to put in a 15-degree angle between the two lines. And make sure I have that on both sides. And now I can use my trim tool to trim away everything but that piece. And for some reason it's got black lines and blue lines, so that means things aren't quite connected. So I'm going to try and coincident and make sure that these are coincident constraint here. I think we have it. We'll give it a try here. If it doesn't work, we can go back and fix it. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. Looks like I have it closed, so I'm going to then extrude that piece out. I am going to remove it, and I'm going to take it through all. And so it cuts that window on the front of it here. And I'm going to go ahead and click OK. So that gives me one of the 6 windows that we have here. So if we've done this correctly, we should be able to go up here to our pattern and say we want a circular pattern. Now, I don't want a pattern apart, I want a pattern a feature. So I'm going to change that. First thing it's asked, what feature do I want patterned? I want to pattern this window. I'm going to do the best that I can here. And I can pick the whole thing again, but there we go. And then the axis of pattern, I want to go around the center of this piece. And since I had picked the entire thing, it didn't like that. So let's go back and try one more time. So our circular pattern, it's right there. We're going to do not the part, but a feature. We're going to just click. There we go. Had to get into it a little bit differently. And then axis of pattern. Oh, it didn't take it. Features of pattern is here. It still doesn't like my features for some reason. We'll keep working on it. We'll figure it out. There we go. It found it. And know that I want 360. And I want 6 of them. So change instant count to be 6 and click OK. And there are the windows for this piece. So if I click to straighten this piece out, I now have my y-axis is the middle of the window, and this is my x-axis here. And the reason we need that is because we have to put on the part that holds the wheels together. So we got to take this piece. We're going to do a real quick offset plane of 0.375. We're going to draw this circle or this cylinder in and connect it back, and then we'll connect these, put on this little piece here. So to do that, we're going to create an offset plane. So it says offset. We're going to click the middle piece here to make sure we got that. And we said that that distance was 0.375. So from there, I can click OK. Put on a new sketch and line it up correctly. I'm going to turn off the planes. Make sure we have that. All right, so I want a circle out here somewhere, and I want it to be on that x-axis, so you can see the little dotted yellow line that's going to help me there. I'm going to draw that out there. Let's take a look. I want a diameter of the outside circle to be 0.25, and I want it to be 0.7, the center of that to be 0.7 from the center of my wheel. So I need 0.25, and then I'm going to dimension from the center of my wheel to the center of this to be 0.7. And from here, I am then going to extrude that circle. Right now it's going the wrong way. I want to change that to say 2 next. And I got to change the direction of it. And so there it goes to the right place. And you can see it's sort of partway onto the outside of the wheel like it's supposed to be. All right, and you can see it's a little different color because it's considered to be a different part here. All right, so now on here, I'm going to create a new sketch. Line that up, make sure we got it. I'm going to put another circle in the center of this piece. And it says I want that diameter to be 0.125 and 0.125 out. So type in 0.125, and I'm going to go ahead and extrude that one to be 0.125. So I can have that sticking out there. And then the last thing is inside here, we want to create a hole. I'm just going to use the circle tool again. So new sketch. And I'm going to zoom in on it. Here we go. Put a new circle on here. It says from here, just to make sure, have a diameter of 0.0625 and a depth, we're creating a hole, of 0.25. So 0.0625. And instead of doing an extrusion where I build onto that piece, I am going to use a remove. So it's going the other way, and I want to remove 0.25. And there we have the hole in the piece. There's our wheel. And we are done with that part. Remember to change it to ABS plastic. Oops, hit the wrong button here. And if you've done it correctly, hopefully, we'll have to change both of them. Unfortunately, the way it works. And get them both highlighted, and you should see your mass of 0.027 and volume and surface area. Good luck!